got a bunch to talk about. All right, we're gonna give you a little quick recap of what we did last week. By the way, I got callers on the line right now.
Probably Dennis.
Oh yeah. So last week we talked about the Power 9-5 in the Pac-12. All right. We decided that the Power 9-5 in this tournament was better than the Pac-12. All right. But we got more to talk about this week because obviously we are going to start with the Big 12 this week. All right. So, like and share.
Let's do it.
Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that football knowledge. And not no Kit Kat bar stuff because we don't want no candy coated stuff here. This is Monday Night Madness. All right. So, I'm going to start off right off the top. We also got some sports debates coming up too, which I'm a ding who's in, and people are gonna go wild on this show. There is another brother of mine who is in the building. His name is Eric Deadeye Manzuck in the house, the statistician guru,
trivia connoisseur.
Trivia connoisseur. What's up, Eric?
That was a great introduction. That made my eye water. That brings tears of happiness to my eyes, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was beautiful.
Do his mic. Now, let's start off the show talking about Patrick Mahomes, the $50 million man. All right? Y'all know what the criteria is from last week. All right? You either have top 3, top 5, top 10, or not top 10 at all. All right?
Or occasionally top 1.
Or, yes, the occasional GOAT right now. So, let's start off with Ian Rocco Kelly in the house. Patrick Mahomes.
Top 3, but he's massively overpaid.
Whoa there. Whoa. Explain real quick.
There should be no athlete. I don't care if you're baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer. You could be the best rugby player in the world. Nobody deserves to get paid $500 million. No one in sports. I don't care how good you are. The fact that he got that contract is absolutely ludicrous. So he might be the best NFL quarterback. That's not my debate. My debate is he should have not gotten that contract. And also, Andre, let me ask you and let me ask everyone who's listening right now, when was the last time a 10-year plus contract worked in the NFL? I'll wait. When's the last time?
Wasn't that the first one?
No, it isn't. Donovan McNabb got one. Brett Favre got one. Drew Bledsoe got one.
Yeah, Bledsoe, man. Oof.
And did they ever work out?
Well, we can't say Bledsoe's didn't work out because he never got a chance to play because, some Brady kid stole his job.
Some Brady kid stole his job. It was a lovely story of a lovely lady. Never mind. Well,
as devil's advocate, though, I would say that he is obviously better than all those guys and in a better situation than most of them. So it's a little different.
That's not my question. Has there ever been a 10-plus year contract that's worked out in the NFL?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's not like those 10-year contract guys. He's a different animal.
Yes or no?
That's all I said. So we'll see. It's up in the air. We'll see 10 years down the line.
I'll tell you what. Brett Favre to me worked out for the most part.
He didn't even last the 10 years.
He didn't last the 10 years, but how many people actually really last their contract anyway without renegotiating or going to another team anyway?
Only half of it's guaranteed.
Yeah, it usually happens that way. So, Brett Favre is probably the closest. And I will say, given Brett Favre's history, Brett Favre probably is the closest one to working out with that type of deal, long-term deal.
Chiefs fans, you're going to hate what I'm about to say next, but I don't see it working out. Like a 10-plus year contract, yeah, right now it's going to work. Right now it's going to work. You have the pieces, you have the core, but when you sign someone long-term, When you sign someone to that long of a deal, we don't know what the roster is going to look like 5 years down the line. We don't know what it's going to look like 7 years, 8 years, 9 years down the line. Can you guarantee that Patrick Mahomes, I'm not talking about his talent, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9 years down the line, will Patrick Mahomes have the success in Kansas City that he's having now? I doubt it. All right, unless you are a time traveler, unless you can guarantee the future, I don't see it happening. Because you have to have a roster around you to be successful in the NFL. You can't just be one person.
All right. Eric.
Is anyone other than me passing along this?
Oh boy, thank you.
That background of yours.
So there have actually been 6 quarterbacks in league history that have had 10-year contracts. I'll name them right now. That includes Patrick Mahomes. First of them, Drew Bledsoe. Then you had Brett Favre. You also had, who was the other one you guys just mentioned?
Donovan McNabb.
There was also Michael Vick, Dante Culpepper.
Okay.
Now, in terms of success right now, out of all the quarterbacks that are mentioned, there are only 2 on that list right now that actually had major mainstream success in the NFL. Brett Favre and Patrick Mahomes. Keep in mind, Patrick Mahomes is the only other quarterback outside of Peyton Manning who threw 50-plus touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, despite the injuries, has got a great head coach with Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes is one of the most dynamic and versatile quarterbacks for his age that I have ever seen. More explosive than I've seen in a lot of rookie quarterbacks that have come out over the last decade or more. The fact that he got a contract as large as he did shows that Kansas City has a lot of faith in this young man. They have a lot of faith in his potential, how well he can grow the sport, how much viewership he can draw in, how many young kids could look up to him that want to be like him, that want to play the quarterback position. I have no doubt in my mind that where Patrick Mahomes is right now as a Kansas City Chief, he is without a doubt the best quarterback in the league. It's not even close. You could mention other quarterbacks in the league that are veterans that are
Turn your background noise off. Go ahead.
All right. But, it's just I'll leave it like this. Patrick Mahomes is however you want to view him, and I'm not taking anything away from any other quarterback in the NFL. But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of good quarterbacks. But right now, if you look at the way Patrick Mahomes played towards the end of the season, you look at his performances in playoffs and then in the Super Bowl, he did better than everybody else.
All right. Marcus Betts, what's up?
What's going on? How you doing, Rise Up family? Hope everybody's doing well. Rocco, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing really well. Marcus,
Okay,
how are you?
You just said, have we ever seen a contract like that? No, not. I will say the Brett Favre. Here's the thing: we make exceptions for exceptional talent. Okay. Now you just said, have we ever seen anything like that? Have we ever seen anything like Patrick Mahomes? The mobility, the accuracy, the leadership. Now, the contract's for 10 years. He probably won't be for 10 years. But what it does is it allows flexibility. His contract allows flexibility to keep players around him. For instance, I don't know if you all have seen it today, but who's the defensive tackle that they franchised?
Chris
Jones.
Chris Jones. He actually left money on the table for Chris Jones. Now, Kansas City hadn't won a Super Bowl in 50 years. Now, let's say in that 10 years, they win 3 Super Bowls. Do you think Kansas City will think that it was worth signing him for 10 years if they win 3 or 4 Super Bowls in a 10-year span? What do we call teams that win 3 or 4 championships in the 3 out of 5 years? What do we call teams like that?
Dynasty.
The D word. The D word.
Yeah. Dynasty.
If Kansas City wins 3 or 4 championships in the next 4 or 5 years, what are we going to call them? What do we call the New England? What do we call the New England Patriots when they had won a certain amount of championships in a short amount of time? What do we call the 90s Cowboys? What do we call the 80s 49ers? What do we call the 70s Steelers? What do we call the 60s Packers? What do we call them? I'm asking you, Rocco, what do we call them?
We called them dynasties. We called them the team of the decade. Right.
Okay, so they went. So do you think that Kansas City, with what they've invested in Patrick Mahomes, obviously they're sold. You got a 23-year-old quarterback who's already a Super Bowl MVP, who's already won a Super Bowl. Now we look at all the quarterbacks that came around Patrick Mahomes' time: Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, all the quarterbacks from 2018 that came a year after Patrick Mahomes. You look at the quarterbacks that are in his draft class. Mitchell Trubisky. Do you think if the Bears could do it again and they could draft Patrick Mahomes over Mitchell Trubisky with the number 2 pick, you think they do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's what Kansas City is looking at. So when you say no, and here's the other thing. When you're talking about the $500 million contract, we have a thing in business. It's called supply and demand. You don't get to dictate if he's worth what somebody thinks he is. So whatever your job is, if you say whatever your job you're doing, okay, whatever your job is, and somebody said, well, why does he get paid that? And another company says, hey, I'll double your salary over here. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to leave that job, right? You're going to leave whatever job you're at for the people that saying they'll give you twice what they're paying you right now, right?
Well, obviously, supply and demand. Obviously, if someone's willing to pay you X amount of money, you're going to sign for that. I'm not saying that Mahomes shouldn't have signed the contract. If someone says, hey, I'm going to give you this much amount of money, he's not going to go, no, I don't want that much. Like, of course, he's going to sign the contract.
You're worth what somebody says to you. Now, Dak Prescott said that he thought he was worth $40 million. And what did the Cowboys say?
Hell
No, you ain't worth nothing.
Hell no. So do you see the
difference? Now, come on, let's move on because we can talk about this Patrick Mahomes thing all day. I need you to rate him right now. All right? And clear your background. All right? Clear your background. I need you to rate him. All right? Ian Kelly said he's top 3. Is he top 3, Marcus? Is he top 5, Marcus? Is he top 10, or is he not top 10? Let's do this.
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now.
Top 1.
All right.
He's
number 1. So, Pylon says number 1. Ian Kelly said top 3. Dallas, what's your thought?
The top. I mean, I don't know. You can't put anyone else in the conversation. You could say Russell Wilson just to give respect to Russell Wilson, but also putting a bit of disrespect on Mahomes' name. I mean, he's so far above the tier 1.
All right, cool. Moving on. Running back, Joe Mixon. Come on, we got to do this quick tonight. We got a whole lot to talk about. Joe Mixon, where is he at?
He's in my top 5, and I actually have my number 4.
Ooh,
I'm really high on Joe Mixon, yeah.
Top 10.
Top 10 says Rocco.
I'll give him top 12. Top 12.
Top 10, Joe Mixon?
So is he in the top 10 or is he outside of the top 10?
Whatever the worst is out of this, that's where he's at. He's not in the top 5.
It's the worst. He said whatever the worst is, that's where he's at. All right, Dallas.
Top 10. He's an upper level back just outside of the elite tier.
Okay. All right. Tyler Lockett. Let's get it.
We're putting
not top 10.
Top 10?
No.
Top 10.
There's a not top 10.
Okay, not top 10. He's not top 10. Tyler Lockett is not top 10.
Not top 10. I mean, he's a good returner, but
he can border top 15.
He's not a good receiver.
We're talking about as a wide receiver in the NFL. He's not top 10. Tyler Lockett's not top 10.
All right, not top 10. Dallas.
His efficiency numbers are very good. That's why I think he's top 20 at least.
All right. Dalton Smith said top 10. The Whitley is in the house. What's up? Everybody watching. Selena's in the house. What up? Bringing it full circle. Dad said if Kansas City doesn't win or even get back to the chip, his contract is not justified. You can't guarantee he'll get them back. There's no guarantee they'll make it back. All right, understandable. Moving on. I think he's not top 10 either. Marquise Brown. The Ravens.
Not
Hollywood
top
Brown.
10.
Not top 10.
We all not top 10, I'm sure.
He's lower than Lockett.
All right. So we got that. We got that under control. Mark Andrews.
He's top 5.
Top at least
10.
top 10.
Very
top
underrated.
10, I think.
He's like right outside of Kelsey and Kittle. Do you know who the number 1 tight end in fantasy football was last year?
Yes, it was Mark Andrews.
That was
Definitely.
Mark Andrews. He's top 5.
I need to see more of
They
him.
have more weapons in that offense now, though. He's not going to get as much attention.
What all they really added was Devin Duvernay in the passing game.
And they added another running back. They're going to be running the ball more, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I got a quick question.
I think he's the number 1. I think he's the number 1 on Baltimore. He's their number 1. Just like back in the day when Tony Gonzalez played for Kansas City, he was their number 1. Gronk.
Todd Heap.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely the number 1 there.
Gronk was the Patriots' number 1. I mean, your tight end can be your number 1. I think Mark Andrews is their number 1 pass option on the Ravens.
Look at the Patriots for years.
Dennis Pitta with Joe Flacco. Right.
Okay, so right now in the league, Travis Kelce or George Kittle, number 1.
Kelsey.
That's a whole other debate.
You can we could do that all day. 1A, 1B. Then you look at maybe Ertz.
So Andrews is top 10 consensus.
No, he's top 5. He's
Top 10.
I think everybody else has him.
Ertz, Darren Waller. Those guys, they don't really get there, dude. Jared Cook even still is producing at a very high level. You got to look at those guys too.
Well,
and I'm not booting Gronk out of the top 5.
I'm having a fantasy football league next year, and if you just think that Mark Andrews is just top 10, I would like to invite you.
We're doing the rise up one.
I haven't seen enough football is not a direct correlation to a player's correct ranking within the league, though. Like Brady is not a good fantasy quarterback and never really has been. But does that mean he's never been one of the best, if not the best, for many years in the league?
He's not anymore. He's not anymore. But when we say Patrick Mahomes, we just said Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, right? Who's going to be the first fantasy football? Who's going to be the top 2 fantasy football quarterbacks to come off the board?
Him and Wilson.
Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
And I got Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey as my keepers in the league.
Fantasy football top doesn't mean that you're always one of the best, though.
All right, let's move on, though. Let's move on. CD Lamb, folks.
Can't put him anywhere right now.
We can't.
He's a rookie.
And I'm not that high on him anyways. So
he's a rookie. This is a...
Oh, my God. I definitely want you in my fantasy football league. I hope you carry that attitude with you into the fantasy football league. I'd love to have you.
All right.
I think Duvernay's a better version of him. But yeah, Lane Johnson's top 5 offensive tackles. When he's not juicing.
Did you just say Devin Duvernay is better than CD Lamb? Did you just say that?
Listen, we're not going to debate that right now, but that is my statement, and we can watch and see what happens.
They're all rookies, so this whole argument can't be solved yet.
Yeah, that's when we start seeing them play. Then we can talk about that.
So let's get on to Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson.
Top 5 tackle.
Top 10.
Top 3.
He's top 3 to me. As a guy who sees this guy, shout out to my man Dennis Holmes. Lane Johnson is a problem. He's a problem.
Damn, I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah,
shout me out.
Lane Johnson. You look at him. You look at Ronnie Stanley and maybe Tyron.
Damn.
Those
hey,
are my top.
We got a caller on the line, y'all, real quick. Caller, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up? I'm just sitting here listening, being flabbergasted about people making judgments on hold on. On rookie players who haven't even played their first down in the NFL.
Oh.
And anybody who could talk about anybody being better than what CeeDee Lamb is right now. I just think that was kind of shocking. I want CeeDee Lamb. I think I want CeeDee Lamb before Dallas drafting.
Right. Absolutely, caller. I get you. All right. Moving on from Lane Johnson, we want to talk about Quentin Spain. Now, mind you, Quentin Spain did not give up a sack last year. Putting that out there.
Hey, throw the list up. as you're reading them. I like to see what's coming up.
Quentin Spain. Okay. There
Not
you go.
top 10. Not top 10.
Top 15.
He's not. Top. Maybe top.
Absolutely, Ramona. It's die hard in the house. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't believe he's top 10, do we?
I don't think he is. When you look at guys like Zach Martin and Nick Martin and Quentin Nelson from the Colts, I don't think he's up there with those guys.
Moving on. Everybody, Rocco.
Yeah.
Is he top 10? Top 3? Top 5? What you got?
I don't even know who he is, so top 15.
He plays for Buffalo.
That's exactly why I don't know about him. Top 15.
Not top 10.
Well, I mean, if you're a guard for the Buffalo Bills, and yet Buffalo offensively wasn't that great, but last year defensively Buffalo was one of the top teams. It does make a difference where you are, especially with the chemistry you have around you. I
got some breaking news real quick. Just came in. The NFL has not offered any of the players a preseason.
I saw it coming.
Breaking news. As of 30 minutes ago. Just hit my screen.
They originally wanted 2 games, and now they're saying 0. They offered that to the NFLPA.
Makes sense.
Hi, Melissa.
COVID-19. Makes sense.
Hey, what's up, Melissa? I see you. Moving on. Cody Whitehair.
Top 15, not top 10.
Maybe, top 15.
Maybe it could sneak.
Top 15 is the definition of average.
15, 16, that's average. I'm going to say average. Top 15.
All right. So because I'm really bedazzled by the next name, which is Kalichi Osi. I'm not even Osimile. Yes, Osimile. I'm not even about to rate him in the top 10 just because who? Like who? Who is it?
He's a free agent.
That's the one from the Raiders. He's really good.
Itself.
I don't know what happened though. He went to the Jets.
He got
I don't
injured
know
and the Jets released him.
Yeah, but I don't know why somebody hasn't taken a risk picking him up yet. He's a really good lineman when he's actually on a team. It's weird. So maybe something else is going on. I don't know.
All right, so I've got a method. I've got him underneath the top 10. Trent Williams,
top 5.
Last one on the Big 12 offense.
Top 10.
I'm going to. At last sighting, he was top 5. After sitting out a year with cancer and having cancer, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get. So I'm going to say top 10 for him. At last sight, but he could very easily be in the top 5.
Top 10. We haven't seen him play in a while, so top 10.
I still have him top 5 because I think there's a lack of there's a few really elite tackles, and then I feel like the drop off is just so severe.
I feel like there's some guys coming up, but what's the next conference?
All right, so we just got through the offense. We got through the offense. Let's go to defense, folks. Real quick.
Oh yeah, the defense.
Line them up. Big 12.
Let's see a Big 12, no defense.
Let's see what we got.
Oh man, that's a little rough.
Bring them out.
Perspective.
Bring them out.
Ooh. Now, Jerry Hughes. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm big on Jerry Hughes, so I think he's in the top 10. I'm big on Jerry Hughes.
When he's on point, he's top 10. Probably, maybe.
Yes.
I watched him play in college. I wasn't really impressed. Top 15.
I tell you what, the Buffalo Bills' best pass rusher for the last couple of years has been Jerry Hughes.
Didn't they get like 15 sacks out of him one season?
Yes, they did. Definitely.
Yeah. He had a good career there.
I think he's sketchy top 10 Dallas, what's up? You're looking like you're ready to take a slap shot. I told you, Jeremy Roenick. Come on.
As a Patriots fan, Jerry Hughes is definitely top 10. At least Brady
Thank
won't
you.
get put in his ass 5 times a year by him.
Thank you. Thank you. Marcus.
He's a minimum top 15.
Jerry Hughes, I got him in the top 10. Yeah, I mean, with his production, you got to put him up there. I mean, he's right at 10. Like, I don't think he's better than Von Miller, or J.J. Watt, or T.J. Watt, or the Bosas.
Top 12.
He'd be right. Yeah, he'd be right outside of the top 10. I can't put him ahead of the Wattses. I can't put him ahead of the Bosas. I can't put him ahead of
Daniil Hunter, Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. I can't put him. I can't.
Shaq Barrett, Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones, DeMarcus Lawrence. Is he better than
I could
DeMarcus?
He might-
put him
he
above
might move
DeMarcus
out of the
Lawrence
top
because he only
15.
had 3 sacks last year, and J.J. Watt's been hurt so much, I think he's not what he used to be. So I could put him above them.
He's not better than either one of the Bosas or the Wattses, and that's 4 right there. That's 4 players. He's not better
Daniil
than
Hunter, Myles Garrett. That's
He's
6.
not better than Nick Bosa. He's not better than Joey Bosa. He's not better than T.J. Watt or J.J. Watt or Von Miller or Khalil Mack. I mean, I'm just naming guys right there. I don't think he's better.
Daniil Hunter, Myles Garrett. Like, he's definitely. I don't think he's top 10.
Can't do it. Chandler, you mentioned Chandler Jones. How about the in Green Bay?
Zadarius Smith.
Chase Young now. We'll see what he does, but I mean, he's a freak.
I mean, Myles Garrett. That's 8 right there.
All right, moving on. Gerald McCoy.
He's
I'll
outside.
give him the top 10 benefit of the doubt for DTs.
Is that a typo? Like,
Yeah.
when did he join Dallas?
This year.
This season, he came over from Carolina. They picked him and Dontari Pollard.
Yep.
And Alden Smith.
I thought he was still in Carolina. Huh.
No.
Okay.
No, they're rebuilding.
Top
right.
15.
Top 15. I don't have him in the top 10 either.
Not top 10.
Jordan Phillips.
Not top 10.
Be careful now. He had 10 sacks last year.
Barely top 10.
If he's top 10, he's number 10.
Not top 10.
He's not top 10. Not yet. He's outside of the top 10 to me. Bruce
Yeah.
Irving.
Outside of the top 15, like he's old now. He's done.
Oh, he went back to Seattle. Huh.
And he didn't do nothing over in Seattle. That's why they brought in Jadeveon Clowney.
Not top 10. But
All right. Jordan Hicks.
Linebacker outside
Top
of the
15.
top 20.
Top 20, maybe.
I'll say top 15. I can't put him up there with.
I think he's pretty good in coverage. That's why I still give him a decent ranking.
No, is he better than the boy from Pittsburgh, Devin Bush and Devin White? Is he better than those guys?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I mean,
they both are might be top 10.
Is he better than Bobby Wagner?
Nobody is a better linebacker than Bobby Wagner.
I mean,
All right.
is he better than Sean Lee at this stage in his career? Is he better than him?
No need,
I
Sean
give him
Lee.
that.
Wait,
I
Sean
give
Lee's
it-
still playing? I thought he retired years ago.
He should have.
Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray, rookie.
He's a rookie.
Jeff
He's a
Gladney,
rookie.
Can't rank him yet.
Jeff Gladney, rookie. So we can just go over those two right there.
Says a lot about Big 12 defense.
Right. Chris Harris Jr.
Oh, he stunk the last 2 years. He's not even top 15 for me right now. Might not even be top 20. He's been really bad lately.
Barely top 10. Barely.
I think you'll see him step it up this year with I think that Chargers defense is going to be incredible.
Oh, they're going to have a great secondary and defense overall.
And you look at their pass rush. I think that'll, when you have a pass rush in front of you, it makes you look a little bit better. I'll put them top 10. But
I have them as a top 5 safety duo too.
I'll give him just inside the top 10.
Okay.
Chris Harris?
All right.
Yeah,
Top 10?
just inside.
Damn.
Barely top.
He's
Barely
been
top
so bad lately.
10. Well,
Like the last couple years.
Well, to be fair, he has been on a Broncos team who's been on a decline.
Yeah, but he's just been getting smoked in man coverage. That's all it's come down to. He's just been getting smoked. I don't know. Maybe he just needed a change of scenery, but he's been getting killed.
Well, part of
change
it
of
too.
scenery.
Part of it too was that the kid that they drafted to play on the other side of Von Miller. Who's the kid that they got? The other
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb, yeah.
Has he played any? How many games has he missed in the past 2 years? When you got
I'm not sure.
When you got two
Pass
good,
rush helps out your secondary a hell of a lot.
it does. When you got a pass rush that's get in the quarterback's face, making them make rush decisions. I think Chris Harris Jr. reemerges this year. I think Xavier Howard really emerges this year.
Now that's top 10.
Xavier Howard, where do we have him?
He's top 10 for me.
Top 10.
I got him like top 7.
Top 10. I'll give him that. Top 10.
I got Xavier Howard at top, itching out of the top 5. By the way, we got comments in the comment section. Ramona said, thank you. Kellen said, Harris not even better than Poyer or Hyde. Harris is not top 10, said Ramona. Chris Harris top 20, but he's getting old. Jordan Hicks 19. Bruce Irving top 10. Jordan Phillips top 8. Jordan Hicks top 20. Bruce Irving not top 10. Gerald McCoy top 10. Jordan Phillips top 15. Gerald McCoy top 10. Frederick and Dez are going at it. Said Dez, that's 3 rings. That's a 3-ring deal. Last year doesn't count. Jerry Hughes top 10. Cody Whitehead top 15. All right.
Harris is a cornerback. He's not a safety like Hyde. So that's not.
Yeah, that's not a comparison.
You're going to make comparisons to guys that play the same position, please.
Maybe he should play safety at this point, though.
Maybe he should.
What do they do to cornerbacks that can't run no more? What position they change them?
You know what? Think of C-Dub.
Yeah,
I mean, he could play both, but
well, you look at a guy like Rod Woodson, Charles Woodson.
yeah, C-Dub.
Once you start not being able to run, you can still recognize stuff, but you just can't run. You just can't run. I'll tell you a guy that needs to be moved to safety. Josh Norman.
Richard Sherman. He could benefit from being moved to safety.
Josh Norman definitely needs to be moved to safety. But the thing is, the Bills have really good safeties. I like Hyde and Poyer.
What about Patrick Peterson? Is he at that point yet, or should he still be a corner?
No.
He can still run. With them, it's defensive line. That's what hurts them. People just run the ball down the Cardinals' throats.
It's not because of his speed. I just always wanted to see what he could do at safety. Because Patrick Peterson, he seems like that type of guy. But
he said, all right, so he said safeties are usually DBs, so keep it 100. Said Kellen. And then Dalton Smith
we're talking about corner, like strictly a corner.
Yeah, we're talking about corner.
Earl Thomas is not a cornerback like Tre'Davious White.
Right. Let's move on, though. We got that. Earl Thomas is what?
I don't know right now.
Earl Thomas, top 10. I think he kind of should. I don't know. I just keep still having that image of Derrick Henry just punking them down the field in the playoffs.
Top 12.
I love
top
that.
12 to top 15.
Yeah, I'll never.
Honestly, I think he's falling off.
I'm gonna say you can spin around his position depending on how you feel. You can spin him around.
Top 15. I mean, it's clear that he's not the guy he was. I mean, I like the acquisition. I think Baltimore made a good move getting Earl Thomas, but he's clearly not the same guy he was in Seattle.
I just don't think he was the best acquisition that Baltimore got. I think
Big 12 losing to whoever they face on a side note.
Marcus Peters was probably the best acquisition that they got.
I agree.
Definitely fixed that defense last year. Dez said top 5. He's still a ball hawk. Stop playing. Woo!
Who, Earl Thomas?
Yeah, Earl Thomas. Kenny Vaccaro.
Outside the top 10.
Outside of the top 15 for me. Maybe top 20.
Top 20. Yeah.
Yeah, outside of 15, I really don't know where I would rank him.
All right, let's move on to the next. We're getting faster with this, folks. We're getting faster. All right, moving on. SEC time.
Oh, they're gonna get killed. This is over. We already know who wins it. We already know.
We already know who wins this one.
Absolutely.
This is a landslide. But we do have one other. Division to get into after SEC. So Dak Prescott, let's get it. Dak.
Top 10 for sure.
The man
top
who is
15.
in
Top 15.
Come on.
Whoa.
He's got to get some respect.
Top 15?
Top 15. He doesn't impress me. First off, he's the definition of an average to an above average quarterback. Like, when it comes to the playoffs, yeah, I mean, he's fine. That's okay. But when it comes to the regular season, yeah, he's going to do what he does best. He's going to get his yardage. He's going to go down the field. But you have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. You have Ezekiel Elliott, who will be able to get pressure off of you. And more importantly, you have wide receivers down the field that you don't have to carry. In fact, the wide receivers, you could make an argument, carry him. So, I'm going to say top 15.
I
don't know. I feel like
I swear to God, I feel the debate.
I feel like he had a great rookie year without Amari Cooper. I know that.
With Ezekiel Elliott.
Please, Rocco, please play in my fantasy football league because I would just love to take some of your money. Really would.
How about you come play in my fantasy league? Let's do a swap, me and you.
Yeah, we can play in each other's fantasy football, and I bet
we're doing a rise up one.
And I bet you I finished higher than you in both of them, making comments like that.
We're doing keepers. Do keepers.
Okay, let me ask you this, Rocco. Do you believe coaching makes a difference?
Of course, you got to have good coaching.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So let's say if Andy Reid were coaching the Cowboys instead of Jason Garrett, how good would Dak Prescott be?
Well, obviously, if you're changing the coaching staff, Dak Prescott gets better.
Okay, he's a talented quarterback. I think a lot of that. He's still with Jason Garrett passed for nearly 5,000 yards. He does have
He was arguably top 5 last year.
He was top 5 last year. He was top 5 last year. He has a winning record. He's a dual threat quarterback. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's like right that next echelon of quarterbacks. He's that guy. That's just what it is.
Not in the SEC anymore. I was sick of him.
I give him top 10.
All right, I'm giving him top 5. I'm sorry, and I don't even.
Ooh.
I'm not even a fan of Dak Prescott, but right now he's definitely in the top. He's in the top. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say top 10. How about that? He is
I'm not gonna put them in the top. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm not putting them in the top 5, but I will put them in the top 10. I'll
put him in the top 10. He's
quarterbacks that have. There's 4 or 5 more quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I still take Aaron Rodgers over him. I take Patrick Mahomes over him. I take Lamar.
I'm taking Deshaun Watson over him.
That's so him, Wentz, and Deshaun Watson are so close to me.
I'm taking Russell Wilson. I'm taking Russell Wilson over him. I'm taking Ben Roethlisberger over him. So
whoa, Big Ben, Ben.
Yes.
Ooh.
Moving on, before we have a big old debate, Derrick Henry is the next one on the list, please. Yeah, let's get to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is what? Top 5?
He is my number 5 running back.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Cinco.
The only thing that limits Derrick Henry is his pass catching ability. Everything else, he may be the best in between the tackles runner in the game.
Rocco.
Cringe top 5. I'll put him in the top 5 for now, but I mean, he's got to show me more than one more year. He's had one great year. He's got to give me another one.
All right. Julio Jones.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Top 3.
You taking him over? You taking him over?
In order, it's Hopkins, Julio, Mike Thomas. Unpopular opinion. You could rank any of those three any way you want, but I think he's definitely up there with those guys.
Okay.
So his counterpart, Mike Evans.
Top 7.
Top 10.
I'll put him in the top 10. Why not?
Top 10.
Okay. See, here's where I get the fire started.
Uh-oh.
Here's where
Don't put him in your 5.
Here's where I get the fire.
Don't put him in your 5.
Is Mike Evans? How about this? Is Mike Evans even the best wide receiver on his own team?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Chris Godwin. He's miles better than Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's top 5.
Whoa.
Evans is top 10.
Did you just say Chris Godwin is better than Mike Evans?
Yes.
You put Chris Godwin top 5?
You're
Yes.
wildin'.
Number 5.
Wow, you're wildin'. Okay, how about this? Let me just say you this, right? How many years has Mike Evans played in the league?
This was his
6 year. Yeah, 6 years.
He was in the same draft as Sammy Watkins, Odell Beckham Jr.,
Jarvis Landry.
Devontae
Adams, I think, right?
2014.
So 6 years. He's been in the league for 6 years.
Brandon Cooks.
Now, mind you, he plays with a quarterback who is a turnover machine. Can you tell me when Mike Evans has not had a 1,000-yard season? I'll wait. The people are waiting, like Ron Thomas said. The people are waiting. And I mean, his 1,000-yard seasons are convincingly 1,000-yard seasons. They're not like just squeezing 1,000 yards like Jarvis Landry does some years with 100+ catches. I mean, they're convincingly.
Yo, leave my man's out of it.
Please elaborate again, because there's only a couple of wide receivers who have done that in the last 5 years. A minimum of 5 years. Please name 5 other wide receivers who has done what Mike Evans has done. Name them. Please. I'll wait on this one. This one is hilarious.
You didn't need to mention the best slot receiver in the game, though. You could have left my boy out of it.
You know what? Again.
He's top 10, Mike Evans.
I didn't hear him mention Edelman.
100%.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, Edelman is. Oh, that's one of the debate topics right there. Oh, yes, I remember. We getting into
Jarvis Landry and Julian Edelman.
Yes, we getting into that later on. Yo, Mike Evans is top 5, and they don't want to give him credit because he doesn't play on a playoff team. I think that's bogus. Mike Thomas, Mike Evans, D Hop, Julio Jones, and one other. Name them. Name one other wide receiver.
I'm not allowed to answer that one.
Name one. Because
I'm not allowed to answer, but he's on the screen.
Odell Beckham?
Odell's not top 10 anymore.
Oh, Lord.
My God.
What has he done since he left the Giants?
He put up 1,000 yards while his other receiver put up 1,000 yards in a shit offense last year.
Oh, okay.
A stack a year is a bad year for Odell. That's how you know he's still up there.
Well, this is what I'll tell you. If the panel got quiet when I said name another one, then Mike Evans is top 5 because the panel got quiet. All right, moving on. Jared Cook.
Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 15.
I think Jared Cook is top 10. He produces. He definitely produces. He produced with Green Bay. Marcus Betts should know all about him.
You got little jokes tonight, huh? Got jokey jokes.
Hey, I had to sneak a little one in there. You know, fire starts a little bit, just a little. You know, I'm gonna ring the bell later on. I'm telling you, this debate is gonna get crazy. All right. Jared Cook, top 10. Rocco said 15. Dallas earlier said he produces, so
he does.
There's not a lot of good tight ends in the league. I think he's top 10.
Okay.
A lot of the good tight ends are improving.
Dalton Smith said, I'm glad my team got Jared Cook. I'm mad Green Bay got rid of Jared Cook. All right, moving on. Odell Beckham is who we just talked about.
Top 10.
Top 10.
I can't put him in the 5 no more. There was a time a few years back, it was like this guy could be the best receiver in the league. I don't.
Well, it was between Hopkins, Julio, and Odell for like 2 years, where it was like which one's the ball, and Antonio Brown. That was like the top 4, like who was where.
Oh yeah, he's not in that conversation anymore.
I mean, top 10. I mean, he's not even the best wide receiver on Cleveland. So let's go with that.
I get so tired of people measuring. I'm seeing a comment in here. Oh, he got 1,000 yards and not one playoff. Why do we not understand that?
He played for the Giants and the Browns. Relax.
Let me tell you something.
He's at one playoff game though.
Wide receiver is one of the most dependent positions in all of sports. Okay, you look at the eye test with this guy. You look at the eye test with guy. There's some wide receivers that they play on terrible teams and they really don't get the shine. You know, they don't get the shine because of the team that they play for. You know, but that doesn't make them a bad receiver. Look, is Devontae Parker a good wide receiver?
Absolutely.
Yes.
How many playoffs he plays on crappy Dolphins teams? Crappy Dolphins. You put Devontae Parker on the Chiefs and see what he does.
So Odell's played for the Giants and the Browns.
You replace Sammy Watkins with Devontae Parker on the Chiefs and see what he does. Put Devontae Parker on the Packers on the other side of Devontae Adams and see what he does. So I don't prescribe to that because you don't have a playoff, because you're not in the playoff and you're a wide receiver. That doesn't make you a bad wide receiver.
All right, moving on. Laramie Tunzel.
Top 6
tier.
to 7 tackles for me. He could sneak at 5. I just have to really think about it.
All right.
He's really good.
Trey Turner.
And
He got his moments, but he's
top 10.
Top 10, 11.
I'll go top 10. I'll give him that.
All right, let me read some of these comments real quick. Odell is still top 10, and I even hate to admit that. OBJ top 10. Des said Landry is better than Odell. Who's smoking? Frederick said exactly. So maybe we should stop calling them divas for wanting to be involved in the offense. Kellen said, why you ain't put him on the Buffalo Bills? Oh, shoot.
That's because Josh Allen couldn't hit the beach ball. He couldn't hit the ocean with a beach ball if you gave him three tries. That's why.
Okay, let's move on. Trey Turner.
He's like fringe top 10.
Top 10.
I'll give him top 10.
Marquise Pouncey.
Center. He's top 3. He's top 3.
Ooh.
Top 5. I couldn't do 3.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. He might be top 5, but my top 3 is not David Andrews is 3, Hudson's 2, and then what's his name is 1.
Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce.
Where would you put Pat Elflein at?
After my boy retired, I think that kind of moves him up. Travis Frederick was up in there. I think that moves Pouncey up a little bit.
Elton Jenkins.
Outside
Outside the top 10.
Ooh, top 5. That's strong for Elton Jenkins. I'd say like top 12.
Not top 10.
Yeah,
Top 15 overall. What do you say, Dre? It's your boy.
Yeah,
You don't ask him that. That's me.
It's your boy, Young. Nah, it ain't my boy. No, it ain't. TC Casey, what's up, man? I wanted to shout out TC earlier too. Shout out to you, bro. My brother, Retro Revolution is in the house, man. Andrew Whitworth, come on, bring him on.
Not top 20.
Top 10.
He's still top 10, but he used to be borderline top 5, if not top 5. So he's like back half of the top 10 now.
He'll look a whole lot better with Cam Akers running behind him this season. I promise you that.
Barely top 10. He's like right there at 10.
OMG. Kellen for the culture is in the building.
First thing he's going to say is running backs are a dime a dozen.
That, or he's going to start talking out the side of his neck saying that Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback. Or come on, what else you got? Devin Singletary
respect right now. Are you gonna just sit there? You gonna sit there and just allow?
Devin Singletary's a top 5. Devin Singletary's a top 5 back. Come on,
that wasn't the question. Give us the question.
Right, that wasn't the question. All right, we moving on. The SEC defense. Come on, let's get it.
Oh, here we go, baby.
Lord Jesus, yo. Can we just say the SEC definitely beats the Big 12 right now?
They're probably going to win the whole thing.
The SEC beats everybody.
Yeah. It's the best conference in the country.
Unless your name is DeAndre Baker. I mean.
Look at that. I mean, that looks like an all-star team, man. Look at that.
Is the SEC better than the
Look
Big
at
12?
the secondary, bro. Come on.
Can I ask you a question? Is there anybody on this list that is not top 10? That is not in the top 10?
CJ Mosley.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah, CJ Mosley. No, Miles Garrett.
Mosley's better.
Top 10 edge. But I just think Von Miller and Daniil Hunter should be switched. Like Von would be the flex left of Daniil Hunter.
But everybody in that secondary, I mean, it's not even worth.
Is top 5 at their position.
They're top 5 at their position. I mean, hell, there's a debate between Stephon Gilmore and Tre'Davious White, who's 1 or 2. You know, I mean, this is crazy. Jamal Adams, you're talking probably top 3 with him and Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Honey Badger is top 3.
Yeah, I mean, this is. So when I hear people saying that the SEC is not the best college football conference, they just need to see this right here. And they're always just Alabama. No, it's not.
Or if people want to start talking about DBU.
It's not just Alabama. Oh, it's just Alabama to put some. No, it's not. How many Alabama players do you even see on that list there? You know?
DBU.
A lot. By the way.
All right. I didn't debate already. The top running back, Ezekiel Elliott. Come on.
Yeah, we were gonna get into Big 10 too. We should real quick. I'm gonna do it just like this from now on, so we can get on to other stuff. Which player on here isn't top 10?
I see a few of them.
Go ahead and name them.
Saffold, offensive lineman.
Saffold, Elfline, and Luan.
Whoa.
I think Taylor Lewan's still top 10 tackles.
Taylor Lewan is the top 5.
Taylor Lewan's like 11. He's like right outside it.
He's
Taylor
top 10.
Lewan is definitely top 10 to me. Brandon Stanford is definitely top 10.
Brandon Scherf's top 5.
Roger Stafford is definitely top 10. What?
Saffold is very average at best.
Yo. I need you to go look up the efficiency of that.
He's like top 15 for me.
Yeah, that's like average.
You tell me.
Slightly above it.
Ryan Ramchek's top 6 to 7.
Ramchek is top 5. I'll give those guys their props.
This is based on last year, right?
Yeah. Well,
it's going forward. It's going forward.
Hold on. Let me tell you what these slides are. The best player at each position coming out of the Big 10.
I don't think Gallup was the best receiver of the Big 10 in the last 2 years.
Who would you say? I love when people replace people on these lists.
I like McLaren for Washington. Terry McLaren for Washington. I think he's
over Chris Godwin.
I think he's better.
That's a debate. That's a good debate.
I think he could be over Godwin, but not right now.
Not right now, but over the next couple of years, I think over the next couple of years, stuff like that question. If I said it, it's gonna be right now, or it's gonna be coming up. Like I think Godwin is good, but I think McLaren's gonna be a lot better overall player than Godwin's gonna be in his career.
Well, he could be, but he's gonna have Dwayne Haskins throwing him the ball. That's gonna.
Yeah, it depends how Kyle Allen plays.
But we don't know what Haskins gonna be in the next couple of years.
Kyle Allen's going to be the starter at some point.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. That's going to hinder McLaurin's growth. Whereas you have Brady throwing you the ball if you're Chris Godwin, that's only going to accelerate your growth.
Brady only got 1 year left though, bro. So we all know Brady on his last leg.
I don't know. I think no, that's a whole separate topic. But he's definitely not. That was Belichick's ego being, having his ego that he has, not giving him.
You think he was on his last leg last year, Kellen?
No, because look at the crap heap that he had with all the injuries on top of everything, and he still, with that crap offense that Belichick gave him and the injured O-line, critically, still threw for over 4,000 yards and a 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Definitely not on its last legs.
Yo, I said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers when people talk like that. So we are saying that there's only a couple people that's not in the top 10.
Correct.
Yeah. The only debatable ones are the linemen.
The linemen are the only debatable ones, correct?
Well, 2 of them. Yeah. Saffold left line.
So who would you replace Elfline with then?
You have to go through it, but he could be bottom of the top 10.
Defense.
I like him. He's good.
Bosa boys. You got the Bosa boys. Good.
This is ridiculous. This defense is ridiculous.
I want that defense right now for my Giants right now.
I want the Big Ten defense.
Now tell me somebody who ain't top 10 on this list.
Came one short.
Wait, where's
because he's still in only his second year of the league.
Where's TJ Watt?
Marshawn Lattimore should be on the list.
What?
Where is TJ Watt? He should be in there over Levante David.
Over Devin Bush. I like Levante.
He's earned it over Nick Bosa, if we're being honest.
You rather have TJ Watt over Nick Bosa?
No, I don't know if I would, but so far he's proven more.
Can you put him in there for Devin
Nick
Bush?
Bosa's only played 1 year, and TJ Watt's been in defensive MVP.
TJ Watt, I think, should definitely be over.
He should be there somewhere. There should be room for him somewhere.
Devin Bush, I think, is.
It's kind of tough. Like, look, if you're putting somebody on, I tell guys all the time, you're putting somebody on, you got to take somebody off. Who are you taking off to put them in there?
Levante David.
Okay, yeah. But he's not a middle linebacker.
You still have Devin.
That's linebacker period, though.
Yeah, it just says linebacker because you still have Devin Bush who could play the middle. So,
what is the flex on defense? Edge rusher? It says flex as
it's basically an edge rusher, like
a player that you can put anywhere.
This defense is ridiculous. The Bosa brothers, Cameron Hayward, Kevon Short.
Hey, whoa! Why is
this is the 4-3 defense though, right?
Kawan Short over Ndamukong Suh right now?
This is the 4-3 defense though. It's 2 defensive linemen, 2 defensive tackles, and 2 edge rushers, and then
I'd take Short out and put Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, my question is, where did the other McCoty brother go?
He was in Nebraska.
Well,
I was about to say, Ndamukong Suh played in Nebraska, and
then Randy Gregory came after him.
But they.
Oh my goodness! You know who else not on this list? Minka Fitzpatrick.
Take out Micah.
He's in the SEC.
He's in the SEC.
Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. Minka is SEC, right? Correct. Sorry about that. Yeah, Minka should not be on this list, right? He should be on. Wait a minute, time out. If that's the case, let's go back to the SEC defensive list again.
I think Jabril Peppers at this stage might be better than Micah Hyde. To be honest with you.
Oh my goodness! That's
now that he's not playing. Now that he's not playing 20 yards back, and he's actually playing the role that's good for him. He's been playing great.
I'm taking
Jabril Peppers.
I'm taking Levante David out, and I'm putting TJ Watt in for Levante David.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I think I'm
just definitely top 10.
I think I would put Jabril Peppers over Micah Hyde going forward. I think he'll have a better year than him.
no, heck no.
Yeah, I'm about to hit the.
Oh, we can't say that.
Pepper,
No,
We're
we
gonna
can't
see.
say that. We
Pepper's
can't take this
Pepper's not
Buffalo
better than
team out.
Hyde.
Any Buffalo player off without getting criticized for it. So
No,
just let them
no,
have it.
no. It's not about being a Buffalo player. Peppers is not better than Hyde. We all knew
The
that.
only reason Jabril Peppers didn't play great from the jump is because he was in a terrible defensive scheme for his skill
Okay,
set.
so was Hyde. He was in Cleveland. So was Hyde. Like,
Yeah, so now he played very well for the Giants last year. Jabril Peppers, very well.
yeah.
So, by the way, real quick,
Yeah,
by the way, you see the panel here. They're going at it. Guess what? It's coming up next. Debate time. I'm ringing the bell on these guys. Coming up. We got to pay some bills first. All right. We'll be back. Monday Night Madness. Coming up. All right. Putting too much into it. Yeah. Let's get this fire started. Sports became my passion. Time will bring it to life, highlighting all the action. Opinions could explode like a chemical reaction. If we started from the bottom, now rise up the newest caption. Man, it's known that every team and every person got an emphasis. But there's a similarity that trumps all of our differences. Statements can get real, better back it up with evidence. Prove it for the record, watch the hour of deliverance. Haters outside the lines, but we do it quite frankly. Cause I'm around the horn, so just part the interruption. Cause the haters, they be spreading. Cause the unwanted production, plus I gotta do it all. And it ain't up for discussion, man. And blood, sweat, and tears, man, they measure up my actions.
We gon' set this off alright. Keep that camera rolling all night. This is the movie, so play over this. Me and my girls out here on the pitch. Gotta look at that on side. Can't help but to stay ahead so tight. So bring the mic and keep the flash. You know how it is, life never action. We gon' keep this party jumping, gotta give it a little something just to keep the fellas looking. You know how it is. Gotta work like I'm crazy on the building. You know how we do, let's party all night. Oh, rockin' to the break of dawn. We gon' do this all night, all night. Oh, rockin' to the break of dawn. All night.
You need an alphabet commercial up in there.
Hey, Dre.
Yeah, I know what it is. Back to Monday Night Madness. We were gonna talk NBA, but there is something that needs to happen before we get into NBA. And right now, this is going to be the debate section in which it is time to take off the gloves or put them on if you want. Time to get real. The crowd is waiting. We got some things to get into. Debate topic number one. Who is the better slot receiver? Is it Julian Edelman
Oh my
or
God,
is it
man.
Jarvis Landry?
I'm just trying to relax, man. It's Jarvis Landry. I'm just trying to relax.
Try to relax early in the boxing fight. All right, I need you to tell me real quick, everybody, who you got and why. Explain it. Let's get it.
Jarvis Landry, shiftier, younger, more fiery. He's younger, got fresher legs.
Oh, Jared.
Some of the best hands in the NFL, some of the best routes in the NFL, and he's probably the best run blocking wide receiver in the NFL. And he's super reliable.
Kellen.
His availability. His availability is
So who you got for availability then?
I got Jarvis Landry.
Ricky Wilms.
I'm gonna go on a limb and be the only different one here. I'm gonna say Julian.
No, you
Edelman.
won't, because Dallas is going to take him.
Well, hey, okay. I'll be the only one that won't be a homer. Okay. I'm gonna say Julian Edelman, and that catching the Super Bowl says everything I need to know.
You seen some of Jarvis Landry's catches?
No.
We're not going to start talking about hands.
Not with Cleveland and Miami. I didn't see nothing with either one of those.
Hands is probably the last part you want to argue Julian Edelman versus Jarvis Landry. If we're being honest, besides run blocking.
Because there's a lot of other parts you could argue that's pro Edelman.
Okay, so how many what do they call it? Wide receiver passes does Landry have? Edelman has at least 3 that I can remember.
I'm not talking about 3 wide receiver throwing the ball plays.
Yeah, like what?
Because if we're doing extracurricular activities, Jarvis Landry gets rushes too, and he returns the ball. If we're talking extracurricular activities.
Extracurricular activities.
What's the most receptions that Jarvis Landry's ever had in the season? When he was in
He was
Miami,
up there. He was up there one of the seasons at
like
the top of the
120
league.
catches one season or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe 115. 112, 110, 83, 81, 94, 84. He's never had less than 81.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
1100, 1100, 1100, 900, 900, 700. 4+ touchdowns every year.
Let's have a little fun, folks. Guess what I got up right now for you guys? Some Jarvis Landry highlights.
And he plays on he's played on the Browns and the Dolphins with Tannehill and Baker. Like Dolphins Tannehill.
I'm just itching to
I'm
make
just
my
saying,
point here
I'm
on
just
Edelman. I got a whole little rant.
You know what? You know what, Jared? Exactly. You need to reiterate. Look, who you play with matters. Who you play with matters.
Devontae Parker needs him to get out of town to get shine.
Like I tell people all the time, sometimes you got to get the hell out of town and go to a good situation. What did we think of Minkah Fitzpatrick when he was playing with the Dolphins? What did we think?
I mean, he was still very good, but he wasn't Minkah Fitzpatrick on the Steelers.
Guess what? Real quick, while we talking about Minkah Fitzpatrick, I am now telling you that after last season, I would take Jamal Adams off and I will put Minkah Fitzpatrick on.
Okay.
For what? Top safety?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I got some things here that would change your mind. If I put this up, matter of fact, let me see if I can put this up for y'all.
They're so close to me.
Look,
they're just so close to me.
Me and Ramona, we were debating this the other day. Me and Ramona, we went back and forth on this for about 30 minutes. It's really, do you like meat lovers pizza or do you like bacon pizza? I mean, it's like you're not going wrong either way. It's what is your preference? Do you want an in the box safety who's basically a hybrid linebacker who's going to come up and you can blitz him, or do you want a guy who's a ball hawking center fielder?
But Minkah can tackle and Jamal Adams can play zone coverage. Jamal Adams is just like average at this point in man coverage. That's his one big thing.
That's what I'm saying. Minkah's better in
Minkah can play man coverage. He can play corner. So They're just two different safeties.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got a guy who's a block safety who's close to the line of scrimmage, who can use him as a blitzer and an extra linebacker. And then you got a guy who's a center fielder, Troy Polamalu, ball hawking safety. You know,
Are you seriously comparing Minkah Fitzpatrick to Troy Polamalu?
I say it.
I think Minkah Fitzpatrick, he might, if he keeps going down the path he's going, he'll be better than Troy Polamalu.
I say that. I'm not saying he is Troy Polamalu, but he's very Troy Polamalu-ish.
As
Jamal Adams, definitely,
Andre, can we go back for a minute because I'm the only one that didn't get to say my piece on Edelman, and I got this whole thing like bubbling up inside me.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Real quick though, Marcus, Jamal Adams is Eric Berry 2.0.
Yes,
that's what he is.
Yes,
wow. That was my comp for him all the way coming out of college.
That's a very good comparison.
Yes.
They play so identical.
Well, Eric Berry.
Sorry, Dallas.
Eric Berry before he got hurt. Yes.
Yeah, I mean Eric Berry was amazing, in my opinion. He was Minkah and Jamal mix to me, except a little not as good at man coverage, obviously.
All right, let him speak his piece about Edelman now.
All right,
go ahead.
well,
Jamal Adams is
you
what
guys
they
were
want.
taking Jarvis Landry. I appreciate Ricky taking Edelman and trying to argue the point of the passes. That was kind of on the path I was going to go to as well. I think they're both versatile and they both have different skill sets. Edelman with his ability to throw, being a college quarterback. Jarvis Landry does get the rushes. That's more built into their offensive scheme. I think hands, I will give that to Landry. But with Edelman, you got to look at, yes, he played with Tom Brady and in the Bill Belichick system that obviously works out perfectly for him. But to not even come out of college as a receiver, make the switch on the fly and learn the position, and to become one of the most efficient and arguably the best slot receiver since his breakout season in 2013, to be Tom Brady's number. And they said earlier that Gronk was your number one option. Here's your number one red zone option to get the passes, to pace you, to get you down the field, pick you up 5 yards when you need 4, throw into double coverage because he was still going to snag the ball away. That was Edelman. Edelman was your number one option, and he was Tom Brady's go-to guy on third down in the Super Bowls in the postseason when they were the biggest stages. And when you're Tom Brady's go-to guy and you're hauling in those passes and he trusts you the most, to me, that makes you the best receiver in the NFL.
You're the defensive. Hang on. When you're
it's also 2020 though.
Hang on. When you're a defensive coordinator, who are you game planning for to stop? That you say, this guy here, if we don't stop him, he will ruin the game for us.
If you're playing against the Patriots last year or this year, you have to game plan to stop Edelman.
Well, yes. Yeah, Gronk didn't play last year.
Gronk didn't play last year, and Gronk ain't on the Patriots. Yes. So when you're playing the Patriots, when Gronk was healthy, do you know that whenever the Patriots
at one point it was just Gronk and Hernandez catching everything.
Do you know that when the Patriots used to play, when the Patriots played the Bill, do you know who they would put on Gronk?
Probably their best cover.
That's a guy who gave Jamal Adams fits in man coverage.
Does anybody remember whenever Gronk got so frustrated with Tre'Davious White that when he
flopped?
Yeah.
He did a people's elbow.
They don't know. Trey White.
I
know all about Trey White.
So if you're putting Tre'Davious White on a tight end, what is that saying about Julian Edelman as compared to Gronk?
Okay, here's what I'm saying, though. If you take your best cover guy and you don't put him on Gronkowski and you do put him on Edelman, purely because of Gronk's body size, the position he plays, and the dual threat that he possessed, you're going to look at Gronk and Edelman and say, Gronk's much more massive than Edelman. So you're going to put your best cover guy on that tight end because he's the red zone threat and you're worried about stopping touchdowns. But you put your best cover guy on Edelman because he's catching 8 to 10 balls a game and he's pacing the offense in the third down conversions.
Gronk's a mutant. That's all I got to say about
yards. He's running little 5 and out. They put Tre'Davious White on him because Gronk will catch 4 or 5 balls for 120 yards and have 2 touchdowns. That's why.
You're undervaluing how much Edelman means. Yeah, but you say he's only catching a 5-yard
Brady. It's a Tom Brady.
5-yard route, and he's
let's see how much he means to Cam Newton
in the league. He's making guys miss after catch. He's smart enough to get down and avoid the hits for injury. And if you need 5 yards, he's running a little 6-yard dig to get.
Okay, let me ask you this: is Julian Edelman a Hall of Fame wide receiver? Yes or no?
That's a whole separate conversation. All I'm going to say
it's really not.
That's not even a conversation. No.
Playoffs is when it means the most to show up. Second most receptions behind Jerry Rice. He shows up in Super Bowls. Based on that, not first ballot, not second ballot. Last try. I could.
Okay, is Rob Gronkowski so
he'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
He won't be, but he should.
Is Rob Gronkowski a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
Yes, he's the greatest tight end ever.
Okay.
Yes. So what are we talking about? He's a mutant.
Is Rob Gronkowski a better tight end than Julian Edelman as a receiver? Yes or no?
You can't compare tight end and receiver to different positions.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Oh, yes, you can.
One is primarily more blocking than the other.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's some tight ends. Would you
rather? Gronk does both aspects great at a high level.
And Alex does both those at a high level.
You have to, on some teams.
I think he is.
On some listen, on some teams.
Yeah, my football for 12 years.
On some teams. Hang on. On some teams, a tight end is. Does everybody remember Jimmy Graham on the
Philadelphia Eagles?
Do you remember Jimmy Graham? Not the Jimmy Graham that you see right now.
New Orleans.
Do y'all remember how
double-digit touchdown?
Does everybody
remember the goalpost?
Yes. Does everybody remember Shannon Sharp? Does everybody remember Tony Gonzalez?
Yep.
Okay, so yes, tight ends. And the way that tight ends are now, you have these tight ends coming into the league where you can flex them out. They are a matchup nightmare. And that's why Jimmy Graham actually filed a grievance to the Players Association because he was like, even though I play tight end, I should be making wide receiver money. That's why wide receivers get more money than tight ends. So I'm just saying, Gronk is a unicorn. He is a generation. When he was at his best, he was a generational player. That's just what it is.
Okay, if you're gonna do that, can you compare Tyreek Hill to Travis Kelce then?
Who scares you more? Who scares you more? Travis Kelce in his prime, or Tyreek Hill in his prime? Who scares you more?
The versatility for Tyreek Hill.
I'd say Kelce because of the body up and the matchups and the red zone threat.
Okay, once again, is Tyreek Hill a better receiver than Travis Kelce is a tight end?
No, he's more versatile.
It's about a tie.
You have a guy who runs a 4.2, 4.3, who can break open any play, and you have a guy who's 6'6", 265 pounds, who you don't know what to put on him. He's too big for a safety, and he's too fast for a linebacker. That's what we call Kellen. You've been around me long enough. What do we call?
And Gronk's hands were great.
What do we call players that there's no comparison for them? What do we call them?
Marcus called them unicorns.
Unicorns. That's what Gronk is. Gronk is a unicorn. Kelsey's a unicorn.
Gronk probably walks on the field in 2020 as the best blocker at tight end in the league.
The only problem with that,
ain't nobody scared of Gronkowski in that 2021.
Well, here's
nobody's scared of Gronkowski who's had a year off.
He'll bully both your safeties, but we're not going to
jumping on Gronkowski right now. Here's the thing about it: he doesn't have to be the Gronkowski that he was in New England.
Nope.
He doesn't have to be that guy. Now he's just a guy because you got Mike Evans and you got Chris Godwin. And I'm going to give y'all a name to look out for this year. He hasn't really had the opportunity to shine, but he will shine this year.
OJ
Howard.
OJ, you right about that.
There and play. He could just kind of go out there and do his thing, and he's going to flash sometime, but he doesn't have to be the guy. That's what's going to extend his playing career.
Before Gronkowski got there, it was Cameron Brate doing most of the work.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But now you got a three-headed monster at tight end.
And then Scotty Miller, too, in the slot. Nobody talks about him. He's also going to...
Yeah, Scotty Miller from Bowling Green.
I feel like we got away from the main part of the argument, but no, I could see cases for Edelman and Landry being made both. But for me, when you're Tom Brady's go-to guy and, you need 4
but he's
yards,
not playing with Tom Brady anymore. It's 2020.
Yes, they're going to have another great season. If they decide to be a passing team with Cam Newton, he's going to pick up the chemistry right away. He has great field awareness, and that's a big part of it. He knows where the sticks are. A lot of these guys don't. You see them look lost.
Jarvis Landry does.
I'm just saying that
he's great. He's one of the top run after catch guys in the league.
Right now, we're talking about at this stage in their career. Now, in a few years back,
tight, John, because I know we've been talking about this for a minute, but I do have to show you something very interesting to kind of get off of the topic of those two receivers. This is exactly why I say you might as well chop Minkah Fitzpatrick up and put him there. Do you see these stats? These stats are overwhelming.
Yeah, 6 yards per target is the only thing he doesn't lead on.
Those stats are overwhelming with Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, that's a lot of man coverage.
He wouldn't be doing that stuff if he was still in Miami.
Exactly.
We know he's better. We know he's better than in coverage than Jamal Adams and Derwin.
I think Minkah Fitzpatrick is great. I think he's one of the best safeties in the league. And me and my co-host, me and Ramona Dodd, we talk about this. Who you play with matters. Who you play with matters. Were we saying all of this stuff about Minkah Fitzpatrick when he was in Miami? There was a lot of people that were saying that Minkah Fitzpatrick was a bust in Miami. And then Derwin James, I'll tell you what, Adam Gase has a good knack for making good players look like busts. I'll tell you that right now.
I think Jamal Adams is a higher level in between the shoulders as well.
I think Derwin James, if he could stay healthy, but that's one of my criteria
Top
too.
3.
Because Derwin James, if he can stay healthy on that Chargers defense with the players that they have over there, if he can just stay healthy, they got a pass rush. I think he'll be all right. So you got the next generation that's coming up behind guys like Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. You got these young pups coming up that's gonna.
Where would you? Let's just say, for instance, the next 5 years, where do you think Xavier McKinney is going to be on this list?
McKinney will be top 10 now.
Maybe top 15.
really
maybe his best is top 10. Now let's move on because we got rid of that. We got rid of that debate. That was a really good debate. We got to get into other stuff too, real quick.
Just kidding around.
I hear you, Ricky. I hear you. I got you. NBA talk. We got to get into some NBA. And yes, it's time to unpackage it. For those who haven't unpackaged it, it's time to unpackage it. Folks, I want to know who has the best nickname in NBA history.
The White Mamba.
You see this spell right here.
White Mamba.
I can already guarantee everybody's going to pick Kobe Bryant.
No, I'm thinking the White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine.
You got the Black Mamba, the Greek Freak, the Mailman, the Dream, the Answer, the Glove, Dr. J, the Truth, King James, the Big Ticket, Pistol Pete, or the man that made this music right here what it is. Air Jordan. Rank them. Marcus Best. Give me 5, and you got to drop the rest. Give me 5, and you got to drop the rest.
No other nicknames? It has to be these guys?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the Black Mamba, Air Jordan. I like the Mailman. I like the Mailman, the Answer, and the Truth. That's the Mailman because he delivers. Like, I mean, King James is tight. I mean, that's tight, but
that's not really original though.
What's that? King James?
Yep.
That's my 5. Mamba, the Mailman, Air Jordan, the Answer, and the Answer.
The Glove, Black Mamba, Air Jordan, Pistol Pete, Greek Freak. I think, yeah, it's all of them.
Dallas.
No particular order. I got the Big Ticket. I got the Answer. I got the Dream. I got the Mamba and the Glove.
Interesting.
How could they not have Kawhi on there? The Claw?
Yeah.
The Claw? You can't get that in there? Come on, man.
It's perfect for him.
My question is, Marcus, what is he, Baron Rusky or what?
I just think that's the Claw. I mean,
it fits him into multiple ways. He's got the freakish fucking big hands.
And just a lockdown defense. They should definitely got a Kawhi Leonard.
All right, I'm gonna go with Big Ticket, the Answer, Mamba, the Glove, and the Truth. So set you free.
He ain't got the answers lately, though.
This is a top 5 to pick because there's a lot of good ones here. But I would have to go with, and this is probably in order, I would have to go with Mamba, Air Jordan, Dr. J, Big Ticket, and Pistol Pete. And I'm really partial to the big ticket because the big ticket was often worth the price of admission.
Trust me, he was the only one worth going to when he was with the Timberwolves. So
The Admiral.
The Admiral. Yeah, I forgot about that.
We can break that one down, right? No, bring it back. Bring it back. All right. I had some time to ponder on this one. Air Jordan is definitely one. Folks are just going to have to be upset. The Black Mamba is definitely number 2. If you're going to go with Jordan, you got to go with his prototype 2. Rest in peace to the second greatest shooting guard of all time. I think the Dream was one of the best centers in the paint. Unguardable in the paint. There is nobody who can say that they actually really shut down Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon should be teaching a lot of these guys in the NBA footwork. Because there's a lot of guys in the NBA who don't have the footwork that Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon had taking the Dream. Dr. J saved the NBA. Good to know your history. ABA, NBA, Dr. J is in between those two.
you know you can take one of those guys off and put Dennis Rodman on there, right? The Worm.
No,
My
you
last
can't. No,
one.
you can't.
My last one would be, and this is because he's influential. I think he definitely made the crossover what it is today, and that's Allen Iverson. The answer. One of the most influential players ever to play the game.
Well, if you're just gonna talk about his crossover, I think there was a guy before him. They had a nasty crossover too. They don't get the respect he deserves. Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway with the UTEP two-step.
Yeah, with the UTEP two-step.
What about AK-47?
AK-47.
That was a great one.
That
was perfect for him.
How about Birdman? Y'all remember Birdman?
Larry Bird?
Not Larry Bird. Birdman, the one with the hair and all the tattoos.
Birdman, no, Birdman.
Yeah, Chris Anderson.
Chris Anderson, yeah, no.
All right. Moving right along, folks.
Jason Williams, white chocolate.
The ground, the mound.
That's a great one too.
What about Zach Randolph, the big baby?
No, Big Baby wasn't. Big Baby
was
that was
Glenn Davis.
Glenn Davis. The Donkey and Shrek.
Donkey and Shrek. All right. Derrick Rose during this time was probably the most talented player I've ever played with. Steph, CP3, nor Kyrie. None of them dudes wanted no smoke with Derrick Henry. Derrick Rose. Sorry, Derrick Henry. Derrick Rose in a Derrick Rose era. Said Big Rip Hamilton. Do you agree with this comment? Yes or no? Be quick.
No.
Derrick Rose was an incredible talent. It just the injuries just sapped him of a lot of his explosiveness. I mean, those knee injuries just slowed him down. There's no telling how great this guy would have been without those knee and ankle injuries.
Now it is time to get to the big question. Couple minutes.
Hey, here we go. I go first.
I'm off this one.
Go ahead. Go first, Kellen.
The Greek Freak should be MVP. Reason why? He's the best player in the game, hands down. He should be MVP and Defensive Player of the Year this year. Honestly, if y'all watch basketball, he should be MVP on offense and Defensive Player of the Year, hands down. LeBron went to Lakers and got AD winning, and he ran the MVP. He is. So nobody's better than him this year. Like he got the best team in the East. He gonna win the finals this year. Quote that. Y'all can laugh at me. Don't want to be quote that. He gonna win the finals this year. This is the Greek Freak. He's the best player in the game right now, hands down. He might be the best player in the next 3 or 4 years. He will get MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
Dallas, Marcus.
Don't be scared.
LeBron. I mean, he's just look. When he left the Eastern Conference, everybody's saying, me included, that he left a cupcake conference, and he's over with the Lakers doing the same thing over in a loaded Western Conference. So LeBron's going to get it just because of popularity. He's going to get it, and I think he's with the passing of Kobe Bryant. If the Lakers are anywhere close, I think it's a shoe-in for LeBron James.
Okay, Coach Buzzard. Dallas.
Well, I don't watch a lot of NBA, not as much as I do baseball and football. But that being said, the NBA MVP is the Greek Freak. LeBron's over there doing it with Anthony Davis. I have to go get him to team up with him. You look at the Bucks. I wouldn't say
Middleton. Don't even go there.
I wouldn't say Antetokounmpo is the entirety of the team, but he is definitely the biggest piece of that team. And I look at it this way. If LeBron was to go down with injury, I think Anthony Davis would carry the Lakers to more success than the Bucks would have without Antetokounmpo.
Good job, Dallas.
You have to look at it that way. If a player goes down with injury and they both do, which team is going to have more success? The Lakers still got Anthony Davis. The Bucks are going to have to scratch and claw and fight as a collective unit.
Good job, Dallas. Good statement.
So here we go again.
There you go.
I got to be the fire starter. As interesting as it sounds, y'all better put some respect. And this is gonna taste like vinegar because I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan. But you guys got to put some respect on LeBron James' name.
You want some respect? Win a dang championship with the Lakers. You have a stacked team. Earn it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Respect on his name, but you also got Anthony Davis helping you out.
So here's what I will say. And yeah, Devon Stanfield, you come in at just the right moment. First of all, I'm tired of y'all talking about AD would lead anything. Last I checked, AD's teams were damn near lottery teams when he was by himself on those Pelican teams. Let's just be very honest and real.
That was the Pelicans, though, bro. Be real. That was the Pelicans, man.
Okay, so watch this. I would tell you, you can say that was the Pelicans all you want, but I will say this. I will say this in a nutshell. LeBron James, for the last 15 years, year in and year out, has constantly produced. Not only has he constantly just produced, and I get it, people will say, well, he put players on his team, because these are my arguments when it comes to LeBron. He had to put extra players on his team in a weak Eastern Conference, or he had to team up with other players to win championships. But individually, LeBron James is the best specimen in the NBA point blank period still. Secondly, number two, the Greek Freak had to work on his jump shot this year, because the Greek Freak had no jump shot. And last I checked, the Greek Freak in the playoffs gets lost against good competition. I just watched Toronto last year put the clamp. Oh, I'm sorry, that claw y'all talk about, put the clamp on Greek Freak last year. The year before, we're not even going to go there. I'm glad that you raised your hand, Kellen. This ain't school. Ding ding. School's in, but it ain't school right now. Greek Freak did not have a jump shot before last season. If you say that he did, I'm going to laugh. If you say that Greek Freak had a jump shot last year, his jump shot was about inconsistent as Russell Westbrook's jump shot. And they both play very similar basketball. The only difference is Greek Freak is a whole lot bigger with a hell of a bigger wingsman. And don't have the passing ability as Russell Westbrook does. Let's be clear on that. Okay. As much as I like Greek Freak and what he's done, I cannot give him the MVP because I have a sneaking suspicion that the Bucks are not winning the championship this
year. Yeah, but that's what everybody thought about Toronto last year too.
Okay.
But hold on. Can I get something in there, please? So if LeBron don't win the championship, you gonna say the same about LeBron winning MVP? Because they're not the favorites to win the West. You know that, right?
Oh, here's the thing. I don't think LeBron James is winning the championship either.
So if he don't win the championship, he's not gonna be MVP.
Here's the problem. As much as we want to sit here and pretend that the MVP is just a regular season award, it's not a regular season award.
That's what I'm saying. So if he don't win the MVP,
so hold on, Kellen. If we going by that statute alone, LeBron James is MVP because he's done more in the playoffs than Greek Freak.
No, he's not
going to do more in the playoffs than Greek Freak.
Well, of course you're going to say that because he's been in the playoffs more times than the Greek Freak has been.
Again,
he's a better player though, overall. He played better this year
than who?
LeBron.
Overall, Greek Freak is a better player than LeBron James.
Greek Freak played better defense this year. Overall,
treading water.
Hold on. And you also said that he didn't have a jump shot, but he had 4 months off to improve that jump shot. So you don't know if his jump shot got better within the last 4 months.
Yes, people are definitely to look. Woo, Devon, bro. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to keep.
No, it's not. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk
No. Comment section. I gotta pay attention to the comments.
Okay, so my question is: LeBron James, within the last year, finally learned how to play defense. Is what you're telling me?
No. Okay, so watch this. And I want everybody to hear this clearly. I've always been one to say that LeBron James' best defensive year was in Miami. Miami. I'm telling you now, LeBron James has always been a transitional defensive player and always been a weak side help defender. Always. I'm telling you that for a fact. That is a fact. As a coach who coaches basketball, I know firsthand that LeBron James is not the lockdown, shutdown defender like Kawhi Leonard. I get it.
But
he's a side defender.
It's not about Kawhi. It's not about Kawhi.
No. I said like Kawhi, sir. Listen carefully. I said like Kawhi.
It's about the Greek Freak, though. It's about the Greek Freak.
No. See, you're not listening. I said like. I'm not bringing the Greek Freak in this. I mean, the Claw in this. I'm not bringing the Claw in this. But what I'm saying is LeBron is a weak side defender. That's what I'm going to tell you. And a transitional defender at best. So, Other than that, LeBron James passes better. He is legitimately the consistent scorer. LeBron James is 35. And if he wins the championship, I agree. I think he should be MVP. Absolutely. I mean, the man has been doing this for a long period of time, for crying out loud. You do realize that there's a 10-year plus difference between the two as well. Greek Freak has not proven to me yet that he can get to that elite level, in which, again, I just said, the MVP is not just a regular season award, as even though people want to portray it that way. It's not. It is absolutely not. Go look at the last couple. No. Go look at the last couple of MVPs and tell me that I'm wrong.
Let me rebuttal though. this year was cut short because of the COVID, so we can't consider like last year and the last couple of years. So we know when the season stopped 4 months ago, who was MVP? It was not LeBron James.
It's tough. We haven't really seen something like this since like the NBA shut down.
95, the lockout year, 95. The next year,
no, I don't think it was
95 playoffs. 94 playoffs.
No, that wasn't.
All right. Since we like doing that, regular season MVPs. What about
that was Tim Duncan. That was Tim Duncan's rookie year with the Spurs.
01.
No, that was the Spurs. That was like 98, 99.
That was 01. Okay.
That was 98, 99. That was they played 50 games. That was the lockout. Tim Duncan's rookie.
Lockout year. Yeah, lockout year.
Yeah, that was like 99.
Correct, Ramona. Correct. I agree. You give the MVP to the best player at the time, not based on how long. But here's the issue again. Let's not pretend. You got to know NBA. You got to know NBA and how the NBA works. First and foremost, if you're telling me popularity doesn't play a part, it does. If you're telling me what you do in the playoffs don't play a part, it does. If you're telling me that in this case, when it comes to LeBron James, what he does and what he does on a team and his longevity isn't going to play a part in that, you're absolutely doing yourself a disservice by not thinking that. I guarantee you that will be part of the doggone debate. Devon Stanfield said, outside of Miami and Lake Cleveland, we're going to act like Bron ever had a Brooke Lopez, Malcolm Brogdon, Wes Matthews. Y'all done lost y'all damn minds.
He's just in his feelings, that's all.
I don't
think they realize how good the Bucks really are.
I think Giannis is the MVP. I think he's the player of the year. I think he's the MVP. Hands down, no matter what's in the playoffs. He was in the first round of the playoffs. He was all 8 games just in the upcoming bubble and then losing the first round of the playoffs. I still think he's the MVP. I think he's the best player in the NBA right now, hands down.
I think the MVP voting ends right after the regular season. I'm pretty sure.
No, actually, it doesn't. Actually, the MVP vote is in the middle of the playoffs, which is the reason why I said people pretend that it's a regular season award, but it's not. Go back and look again.
This year is different though, because this year was cut out. So it's not the same as last year. It's a whole different season.
Devon Stanfield said that LeBron has been doing what Greek Freak is doing now with much less talent.
That's wrong. LeBron got a better talent right now. What he in LA than Greek Freak got.
So again,
he said, but the comment was he's been doing it for longer with less. Do we remember?
That sound like?
Do we remember the first championship that LeBron went to with the?
Yes, absolutely.
What they got doing now? We talking right now. We talking
We're talking about when people say better player. He's been doing this longer, and you're right. The MVP, as sad as it is to say, the reality is it's kind of a popularity contest.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I'm trying to tell you.
The Greek Freak has more popularity than LeBron James has worldwide. If that's the case, they're gonna say Luka Doncic is the MVP.
Stop it.
No,
you were doing so good.
Categories. MVP will be.
So Luka not in the conversation. Luka's not in the conversation.
Who's the most popular player in the world right now? I could drop LeBron James off in any of the continent in any continent.
LeBron, you're right, LeBron James, but you can't say as far as basketball player playing ball, Luka's on the same level as LeBron is, and so is Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever his name is, the Greek Freak.
This is what I was saying in that.
Luka's the same class. Do y'all watch basketball? I think I just watch football. Y'all watch basketball.
Look, you're talking about guys that are just coming onto the scene. Luka's an incredible talent. Greek Freak is an incredible.
He's a top 5 MVP voters right now. Like
top 5 isn't top 1. Okay, just like we say when
LeBron's not top 1. LeBron's not top 1. Y'all don't watch basketball. Because you say the Cowboys are the best team in the NBA, or best in the NFL, when they're the most favorite team. The Lakers the most favorite team in the NBA. That's why you say that. But he's not the best player right now. He's not the best player on this team, honestly.
Here's the other thing that helps out LeBron James, and I tell you about this, and you get hurt every time that I tell you this. The franchise that you play for also.
I just said that. That's what I said.
Listen, Linda, honey, Linda, listen. LeBron James, the most popular player in the world, plays for probably the most popular basketball franchise in history. Who is the most popular basketball franchise in the world?
And we got 3 minutes left of the show.
Answer the question. Dallas, who's the most popular basketball franchise in probably NBA history?
Right off the top of my head, it's probably a three-way tie between the Knicks, the Lakers, and the Celtics. And you could say Lakers first.
What I got to do? Hold on. What I got to do right now? We talk about right now.
What did I just say?
You say about the
Kellen, because it's a part of popularity. That's why.
Just said that. That's what I'm trying to say.
You said that.
I'm not saying it's fair.
Hold on. But listen. He got a worldwide view. Luka does. Luka got everybody watching Luka for all around the world. He got few overseas.
He's still not more popular than LeBron James. He's still not more. One last thing. One last thing before we go. One last thing before we go. Why did Stephon Gilmore win the defensive MVP over Tre'Davious White? Just answer.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
The Patriots.
Because the Patriots brand is bigger. And is it fair? No, it's not.
Okay. Who deserved it more though?
I'm not disputing you.
Who deserved it more? Let's keep it a buck, like Dre said. Let's keep it a buck. Who deserved it more?
No, so it wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't that.
Don't be a fanboy and say.
No, hang on. Here's the difference. Hang on. Let me finish. It's not. It wasn't that. If it comes close, it's just like fighting Floyd Mayweather. The only way you're going to get a decision over Floyd Mayweather. The only way you're going to get a victory over Mayweather, how is that, guys? You're going to have to knock him. You're going to have to knock him out. If it's a close fight, Floyd Mayweather, because he's Floyd Mayweather, is going to get that decision. The New England Patriots are Floyd Mayweather, and you're Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It was so neck and neck.
And I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of LeBron James, but I will say this. The last 3 MVP awards, I will say that they have gotten them wrong.
Let me ask one more question. Let me ask one more question before we go. Who should have been the Super Bowl MVP?
Oh, see,
Damian Williams.
Okay, but who was the Super Bowl MVP?
Mahomes.
My homie.
What is that?
Because it's always a quarterback. It's always
popularity. Why did Grant Delpit win the Thorpe Award this year?
Do you understand? Do you understand now? It is somewhat of a popularity contest. That's just what it is.
Most awards are.
Award or any game.
Kobe Bryant made the All-Star game with 10 games played.
But if we've been realistic, saying who was the best player right now in the NBA, we wouldn't say LeBron James is the best player in the NBA right now.
Somebody would say Zion Williamson. I mean, it's all subjective. It's all subjective.
That's not a choice. Zion's not even a choice. Zion not even rookie of the year. He's not even rookie of the year candidate right now.
But he's popular. And in the next year,
we're not talking about popular. This is not American Idol.
I'm saying that the MVP, Kellen, honey, listen, the MVP. I'm going to say this again for the 20th time tonight. The MVP is partially a popularity contest.
In any sport, really. You look at Super Bowl 51. James White single-handedly got the Patriots back in the game, but Tom Brady was awarded the MVP award.
Grant Delpit won the Thorpe Award this year. That's all I got to say.
We've been realistic. We've been really talking men talk. We're being dogs right now. You're not going to say LeBron's the best player in the game.
I would.
Popularity-wise, yes. But it's not a popular. This is not a talent show. This is not prime king. This is the best player in the game right now. And he's not the best player in the game, offensively or defensively. But
So here's all I'm gonna say.
I enjoyed the show. It was great talking with you guys.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Continue to watch Monday Night Madness, everybody. Thank you for supporting us. We were gonna talk baseball too and UFC next week. We're gonna kick off the show. We're gonna give baseball and UFC a good 25 minutes of the show next week. We got to. All right, because we got some great content for UFC and baseball. We want to thank y'all so very much for always supporting as usual. Rise Up family, we've been on point. All right. Let me just put that out there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a pun.
So I will see you. Myself, Andre the Torch Robinson, the fire starter, Marcus the Alphabets, Dallas Oliver, Kellen for the Culture, Ricky Wilms. Shout out to my brother Ian Rikelly, Rocco Kelly from Las Vegas, Nevada, Jared Mullen from Pylon to Pylon, and Rise Up Family Zone. Listen, we got a whole lot more in store for you guys. I just keep supporting and stay tuned. All right. See y'all next week.